Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna start a new series on this channel where I basically react to full albums from bands and do it deep dive style. I do some deep dives on my album of the year page, but this time I'm gonna be doing them on video. So you can find some of my reviews on album of the year at JIM Music Reviews or JI Music Reviews, John Murray Music. That's where I've done lots of bands so far. I've done probably at least 20 deep dives and other miscellaneous reviews, but there's where you can find me there. But I wanted to start a Mastodon deep dive since I've heard they are a band that I would really like because they have really creative riffs. You know, they're right at that metal sound that I really enjoy. Rest in peace to Brent Hines. And yeah, we're gonna see what makes them so great here. Let's go ahead and check out the first album, Remission. We got the song up and the tabs up here, so we can see what they're doing on the guitar. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. This is the first song, Crusher Destroyer. Ooh, nice pinches. Nice, I like those sliding tritones. Really cool. Gives such a chaotic sound to it. I have this pick slides. I'm really enjoying this so far. Man, how they hit those tritones and they just hit those open strings. Okay, I love those offbeats. Really fucking cool. I didn't expect those like hard rock guitar licks in there. Gotta be honest. Seems kind of one-dimensional, but chaotic and interesting at the same time because they're changing it up enough to keep your attention. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So that first song, I really enjoyed. It was really interesting. It was really simplistic, yet complex and chaotic at the same time. I love the grungy sound of the guitar tones here. Power chords, the tritones, the open chords, the harmonized octaves. I mean, it gives you a good taste of what you're going to get through the rest of this. So to start with that song, my initial thoughts are probably an 83 out of 100. Alright, next up we have March of the Fire Ants. So let's go ahead and get the tabs up. And let's go. Okay, nice big power chords to start off with. I hear one guitar doing some hammer-ons, pull-offs. I can already tell there's some really cool interplay between the guitars here. Oh, I hear those. I don't know which is Brent and which is the other guy. I'm not sure about his name. Either way, I like what I'm hearing. Got some straightforward power chords here. Nice. There's panic chords coming. Oh, once again, we see a return of those tritones. I like how they sometimes return to the more simplistic parts, just to keep you reeled in if you're not in tune with everything else that's going on. You gotta have those panic chords. You gotta. Ooh. Some like Iron Maiden style leads coming in here. See if we can find those. Drums are going nuts as well. Damn. Ooh, really nice creative riff. Where did this come from? Okay. I like the patterns here, the rhythmic patterns. Nice vibrato on that high note. All right, back to those hammer-ons. All right, so that was our second song there, March of the Fire Ants. Now this one I really enjoyed, a little bit more than the first one. It definitely has that more simplistic yet complex sound going on once again. Like for the chorus, they just really opened it up here with those accented tritones. Once again, I like the interplay of the guitars in the beginning here. I really like the Iron Maiden style harmony going on towards the middle of it. I mean, it was really interesting. Every part was really interesting here, especially the bridge with those rhythmic patterns. Really awesome stuff. So my first thoughts on the second song, I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 87. So let's go to the third song. It's gonna be Where Strides the Behemoth. Okay, weird tape effect in the beginning. Seems like we got two guitars going on once again. Ooh, I like that riff. Just a flurry of notes. Oh, nice, opened it up. I like those really nasty pinches at the end. I'm not sure what those sounds are about, but you know. And once again, those drums are just on it, like jazzy as hell. Get a little bass and drum solo. Man, that bass tone is fucking filthy, dude. Gotta have those trademark power chords in there, you know. Wouldn't be metal without power chords. I really like that main riff. Really, really interesting. Wow. Okay, so that third song, Where Strides the Behemoth. Once again, they're kind of reaching back into the really creative, interesting sounds here. And then we got the verse riff with those accented hits once again. This time on the single notes up here, ending with that pinch. The chorus is once again just, you know, sliding tritones with. They seem to be making a trademark for themselves with those. But we'll have to see how this album goes, the rest of it, and the rest of their discography. So, I think for my first thoughts on that song, I'm going to give it an 86 out of 100. So, let's check out the next song here. Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. I know they got something interesting. There we go. Oh man, I love those natural harmonics there. Is the bass copying that in the middle? Am I hearing that right? They're taking riffs that could be much simpler in a different context, and they're just turning them up to 11 pretty much. It's really interesting. Nice. Gotta have those octaves again, you know? So this time they're not harmonized. Oh, I stand corrected. Oh, reprise to that intro. Okay, I gotta say that ending was just a little bit out of nowhere. But I think it worked pretty well, honestly, going right back to the beginning there. So that was the 4-song Workhorse. What I really loved about this song was definitely that main riff with those natural harmonics in it. I like the harmonized octaves once again. I also once again love the harmonized guitars with the leads. And for that 4th song, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 84 as my first rating. So let's go on to the next song here, Old Nessie. Alright, ready? Go. Oh. Once again in 3/4 time. That is really interesting. I don't know how they come up with like such unique patterns like that. And this is only the first album. I have a feeling I'm really gonna like this band. Wow. Once again, gotta give credit to those drums. I don't know who's on the kit, but they're killing it. Whoa. Hello. Beautiful. Clean / dirty section. Kind of a crunch to it. It's not entirely clean. Oh, landing on that A. Well, I'm not sure what tuning they're in, but, you know, right there. Oh. Oh. For some reason, those chords remind me a little bit of Radiohead. Don't kill me if you're, like, not a big fan of them and a big fan of these guys, but, you know, they got that sorrowful, sad sound to them. Especially when it went right here on that one. Now it sounds like Mastodon. They just love those syncopated big hits like that, whether it be chords or notes. Wow. Now we're getting kind of like bluesy. Like straight up blues. Like blues rock. Reminds me of some like Led Zeppelin type of lead guitar part right here. I don't know who's on the drums, but they are killing it. Someone please tell me, who is on the drums for this? Damn. I love how they end on that chord. It adds and builds so much suspense. Ooh, and there they go with those chords from earlier in a new context. That's a really genius part right there, how they bring it back. Wow, they circled that back so perfectly. In a new, beautiful context, in a more heavy context. Oh my god. That was probably my favorite so far. I mean, I love just about everything about that song. They pretty much took the signature Mastodon sound, well, what I know of it so far. And they added just some gorgeous, clean sections, some dirtier sections. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. That might reach a 90 on the first listen for me. That was pretty close to a masterpiece, honestly. I mean, you gotta love that beginning with the really creative parts with the pull-offs to the open strings. And they come in with those arpeggios, and then the straight-up clean section to the Mastodon sounding part, to that bluesy lick and like lead part. And they returned perfectly to the cleaner section. I mean, that was just amazing. On my first listen, I think I'm going to go ahead and give that a 90. First listen. Now, these opinions might change later when I put up my official review for it, but that was just amazing. I mean, I hope to hear a lot more of that from this album. So, speaking of, our next song is Burning Man. So, let's go ahead and get it going. I'm excited. Wow, there's some fast sliding power chords right there. Now, this is just meant to be just a fuck you song. Just like crazy fast. I almost don't even know how to follow that main riff. It's so chaotic. I really like that twist on the classic. That 3-2-1-0 that you always hear in metal. Oh, it's already over. Wow. I would say I'm not the biggest fan of that song, just based on the greatness that I heard right before it. I mean, it was definitely chaotic. It was cacophonous. I mean, there was things going on all the time. There wasn't a single bit of lead guitar in that. But it still worked as like a more of a punky sound with like a little bit more of a technical punky sound to it, if that really exists. I really liked the sliding power chords, the sliding octaves there. I mean, it was all really interesting. But I think it kind of pales in comparison to some of the other music we've heard so far on this album. So I think for that song, first listen, first thoughts, I'm going to give that an 82 out of 100 as my first listen. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, Trampled Under Hoof. Oh, harmonized octaves. I can hear it. I like how they had that one pattern that gets interrupted. This band, this might be next level. Because how the hell did they make instruments sound like galloping? I mean, it sounds like the rhythm of that. Of an animal galloping. And it's called Trampled Under Hoof. Are these guys geniuses? This is only the first album. I like that open string. It's kind of dissonant, but it still works. Oh, hello. New section. Going up an octave. Once again, those extremely tasty and tasteful drums there. I mean, people thought Iron Maiden made the sound of a horse galloping. This is a whole nother level. I mean, it has unpredictable, scattered sounds of an actual animal galloping. Wow. It's not very often where I see and hear a song so accurate to its title. I mean, that I'm going to say it once again, that literally sounded like galloping. Not a musical gallop, not a rhythm. An actual nature gallop in real life, in nature. I mean, this is the first album, and these guys are already blowing me away like crazy. What did I love about that song? I don't know where to begin. All the riffs were amazing. The chorus is really interesting. I like with the open strings in the chorus. The interlude was out of nowhere, unexpected, but really highly appreciated. I wish there was maybe a little bit more lead guitar, but once again, I love the harmonized octaves here. So I think for this song, I'm going to go ahead and give it the same score as the last track, an 86. I felt like there were some parts that were kind of repeated from earlier. I mean, it was pretty genius. So maybe I would give it an 87 if it didn't sound so so familiar. So first thoughts on that one, it's getting an 86. Next up we have Trilobite. Whoa. They're playing with a lot of interesting tones here, intervals. I like how it feels like one big arpeggio. It just never ends. Once again, the drums are just going off. It doesn't matter what part of the song it is, the drums are gonna go crazy. I feel like they're kind of wearing out the welcome with the big syncopated chord thing in the chorus every time. And still, that bass tone is just nasty. Playing with that dissonance again, having that high string ring out. This part kind of reminds me of Led Zeppelin. I'm not sure why. I mean, I think I made that comparison earlier. Oh, but now they've taken that part, interpolated it into the heavy guitars. Nice. I love how they landed on that. Ooh, and then they returned to that. That's good. I really like this. Let's get to what I liked about this song. First of all, I think the heavier sections were a little bit weaker compared to the cleaner and dirty sections. I loved, once again, that arpeggio at the beginning. It just felt like a never-ending cycle, an endless loop. Just an arpeggio that goes on forever and ever until they get heavy, and then they return it again. They come back to the softer sound with this riff, building up a half step and then going back down with the root notes there. And then that opening arpeggio once again, it just feels like it never ends and it just goes back and forth forever. And of course that part, the Led Zeppelin sounding part right there. I just really think this is another incredible display of musicianship from the band. I mean, it's really great. I think for my first thoughts on this song, so I'm going to go ahead and give this an 89 as my first thoughts on it. Alright, so let's go on to the next song called Mother Puncher. See, this has a pretty intense title. I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty intense song, so let's go. Okay, kind of an indie sound. Until that part. Oh. Repeating that tail there. Wow. Such a slidey and loose riff right there. Now we just go to a complete switch up here. I feel like this slower section is a little bit too drawn out, and it's kind of taking away the excitement and taking away my attention from it just a little bit, you know. So that was the second to last song, Mother Puncher. That one started off pretty strong, but I feel like the slow grungy section was just kind of testing my patience a little bit. The verse riff was really interesting with all the sliding going on, and then they just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of fumbled it near the end, just with the slow, brooding, chuggy section that really didn't do a whole lot for me. That type of riff that you've heard a million times before. So I think this one was a little bit weaker, honestly. But just for that verse riff and the really cool, interesting intro riff, I think I'd probably go ahead and give this song an 84 out of 100 on the first listen. This album is really interesting so far. I love all the different types of sounds they're putting into it and combining into it to make it something really unique. But, yeah. And next we have Just Another Day, because I ran out of time when I was recording video the other day. But we're going to go ahead and finish Remission by Mastodon. And the last song here is called Elephant Man. So let's go ahead and get into it. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. I like the octaves with the open strings. Oh, I really like that little single note right at the end. Very cool. Oh, is there like an extra beat that time? I think. I like how the guitars aren't perfectly on time. There's like more of a loose human feel to it. Oh, I hear another guitar going higher when the others go lower. I like that contrary motion right there. Ooh. Going back into that more traditional style soloing right here. It's really cool. I'm not sure who's playing the solo. Is it Brent? Someone tell me down below. I really like that little lead section right there because it's repeating the same idea with different notes. And music writing is all about repetition, really. Okay, that part reminded me of like Angus Young. I don't know why the fade out was necessary when the song ended. You know, anyways. For that song, I'd probably give it a good 85, honestly. Alright, and that was the last song, Elephant Man. It was another pretty impressive one. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I did like the parts that happened through it. I wish the heavy part was a little bit more creative, but I appreciated the varied lead playing in it. So that was the first album, Remission. I was pretty impressed by that. I loved all the harmonized octaves, the open strings, the tritones, the intensity of some of the songs, the really creative patterns and note choices. I think that was extremely impressive for a debut album. I mean, they really showed what they're about, and I hope things only get better from here. So my first rating and my first overall rating for the whole album on the first listen has got to be 86 out of 100. That's what I'm going to give it. Pretty soon I'm going to go post my review on albumoftheyear.org, so check out that page down below in the description. That review should be up very soon, around the time of the release of this video. And yeah, that was my first time listening to Mastodon as a picky metal guitarist, and it was pretty much right up my alley. I mean, 86 is incredible for a debut album, especially for someone like me, who really is pretty picky about things. Kind of snobby at times, but I don't mean to be. But yeah, that was my first time listening to Mastodon's first album. Next video is going to be the next album. And I might throw in some other videos from other series that I've done in the past just to change things up, but I thought I'd give this a try. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.